It's the latest in the Hogarth Shakespeare series, where contemporary authors take on classic works by the bard. We've already seen Jeanette Winterson's take on The Winter's Tale. Margaret Atwood has tackled The Tempest, and Anne Tyler's tried out The Taming of the Shrew. Now it's time for Norwegian thriller powerhouse Jo Nesbo to take on Macbeth. And frankly, this is my peanut butter chocolate, which makes Michael Fassbender my little Reese's Pieces, considering he's played both Macbeth in the 2015 movie, as well as Nesbo's Here Hula in the 2017 movie The Snowman. Besides, I'm a sucker for adaptations. I've read countless reimaginings of Jane Eyre, from the fantastic Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay to the Korean-tinged Re-Jane by Patricia Park, as well as the graphic novel Jane by Aileen Brosh McKenna. Now, don't at me, I still haven't read The White Sargasso Sea. I don't know why that is. It is, in fact, on the TBR. But Macbeth was my favorite Shakespearean play of all time, but that wasn't always the case. Like most of you, I struggled with Shakespeare all throughout high school. It was just a torturous experience trying to decipher this 400-year-old text, referencing all the footnotes and endnotes. It was like reading David Foster Wallace with ruffled collars, and it never really took hold of me until Macbeth. We had the opportunity to check it out staged down in Stratford, Ontario. And it was a straight-up interpretation of the Scottish play, nothing fancy. I mean, since then, I've seen a kabuki-inspired version of Macbeth, as well as Comfiore's Macbeth, set in 1960s colonial Africa. But this, straight up, and all the words suddenly just snapped into place. It all made sense. O'erleaping ambition and existential ennui. And there's Lady Macbeth sleepwalking, slowly going crazy, clawing the theater floorboards with her fingernails, and it just sends chills down my spine. And I've loved the play ever since. And so a Scandinavian slant on the Scottish play? I just couldn't wait to get my hands on this. But how does it all work? Well, it's set in 1970s Glasgow, which seems an apt a place as any. If you look at photos back of that era, you can see how grimy, gritty, and bad it was. But you never really get a sense of the place from the language. And the language, oh my God, reading this, my eyes almost rolled completely back into my head by how overwrought it all sounded starting out. It feels like it was written by your emo goth atheist teen who's busy practicing the blade. Macbeth comes off as a fedora-wearing neckbeard, the type of guy you know who has a collection of katana in his living room. And then there's the death of Duncan, and I apologize as far as spoilers goes, but I feel like I have a little bit of leeway considering this is a 400-year-old play. But that ploy of Duncan's dead, the guards did it, but don't worry, I killed him, really pushes the boundaries of the plausible when you set it in the modern age. But I get it. Moving on, no big deal. The real joy is how Nesbo writes action. The Banquo Fleance action set piece was fantastic, and it really sung. I mean, Nesbo really gets the chance to flex his thriller writing chops. This man knows how to write death and destruction. And I love how he tackles the problem of bringing the play into the modern era. Macbeth is a SWAT team leader. He's an orphan and a practiced knife thrower. Lady is a former prostitute, now owner of a casino. And I know saying it out loud sounds a little contrived and overdone, and when I tell you that Nesbo has taken Shakespeare's slimmest of plays and translated it into well over 400 pages of book, most of you will nope the heck out of reading this thing, but I have to tell you it was fun puzzling out how to solve the problem of this play given these specific set pieces. I wish there were more Easter eggs in this story, but I guess that's an impossibility considering that Nesbo probably read a translated version that considered the words, but probably gave up on the puns in the iambic pentameter. So he writes his version, which gets translated back into the English by Don Bartlett. And so in this literary telephone, you're not going to get a lot of nods to the original. Macbeth's soliloquy is reduced to a sigh and a grumbled, tomorrow, tomorrow, and tomorrow. And so I end up feeling conflicted. It's like admitting liking Celine Dion's latest single. I mean, is Ashes intrinsically good, or do I like it simply because it's part of a Deadpool tie-in? And how much baggage am I bringing to this all, considering I'm Canadian and feel like I have to apologize for Dion, Bieber, and Nickelback? Like your recently divorced friend updating your profile on Facebook, it's complicated. Speaking of complicated, the world of Discord is proving to be fairly complex. I'm just getting my feet wet in this new online community, but it's proving to have a really nice, chill vibe, a great place to come hang out, talk about books, and whatever. I'll have an invite to the Discord channel down below, and I'll keep that in subsequent videos. Come check it out, and come check out some of the other literary Discords. I am by far not the only one. There's a bunch of other ones that all have their own unique vibe, from Cybercorn, the Literary Discord, and Books and Tea. So check those out as well if you get the chance. I've lucked out. I've got some great moderators to welcome you and say hi. There's William, who's responsible for the Booktuber catalog, as well as Michaela from the channel Betwixt the Books. I'll have a link to her channel down below as well. Come by, say hi to them as well. They'll be happy to greet you when you arrive. And so that is it for this week. I hope you all have a great week of reading coming up, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.